not joking. All my guys, them know me.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa, and if you're new on this channel, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell so that whenever I post, you will be the very first to find out. Today I come bearing bad news, sad news. Sorry guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but unfortunately, we just have to do it. We don't have a choice at this point. You have to be notified, you have to know what's going on. I know some person chatted me up to say, Melissa, you just have to make a video and break it down. We don't understand this English that Mr. Clevery is speaking, so we're going to be going through everything line by line, straight to the point, no rambling about. You guys already know that Sola Biverman is no longer the Home Secretary, and when Cleverly stepped up the ladder, we're hopeful that okay, now that someone else is there, hopefully this person will be a lover of immigration. This person is going to encourage more foreigners to come into the UK. But sadly, I guess we're all wrong because it seems to be in sync with Sola Biverman. Now, I'm just on gov.uk. I'm going to be looking down, but everything is going to be right on your screen. Okay, guys. Now, the headline says Home Secretary unveils plan to cut net migration. The UK government will introduce a plan to deliver the biggest ever cut in net migration and curb abuse of the immigration system. Now, the Home Secretary has announced a plan to slash migration levels and curb abuse of the immigration system, delivering the biggest ever reduction in net migration. Together, this package will mean about 300,000 people who came to the UK last year would now not be able to come. Sad. The package of measures will end the high numbers of dependents coming to the UK, increase the minimum salaries that overseas workers and British or settled people sponsoring family members must earn, and tackle exploitation across the immigration system. This makes sense so far, right? The government will tighten the health and care visa, which has seen a significant number of visas granted to care workers and their dependents, by preventing overseas care workers from bringing their dependents to the UK. In addition, care providers in England will now only be able to sponsor migrant workers if they are undertaking activities regulated by the Care Quality Commission. Sad. In the year ending September 2023, 101,000 health and care visas were issued to care workers and senior care workers, with an estimated 120,000 visas granted to associated dependents, the majority of whom we estimate don't work but still make use of public services. You know, if you come into the UK with the health and care worker visa, you're entitled to some public funds, especially your children. They go to school for free. They don't get to pay for medications. I think from a particular age, you can use the bus system for free. If you're the main applicant, you come with your wife. Your wife is able to give birth in the hospital for free. I'm using the word for free, even though some people believe that it is not free because we pay insurance. But if you look at it, how much exactly do we pay for insurance? Let's even talk about it. How much is our national insurance monthly compared to how much we use the NHS? Also, let's not forget the fact that most of us, we love to bear kids. Like, we have 4 kids, 3 kids. Unlike the British folks, most of them don't even get married. Some of them are comfortable with not having kids. Some of them have just 1. Some 2, compared to we Africans or Asians that just love to, we are family oriented, we are close knitted, we love to bear kids. Now imagine the main applicant coming with the wife and probably 4 kids or 5 kids, and because of the kids, the wife is unable to work. So this is exactly what they're saying. At the end of the day, this family of 6 is just one person that is contributing to the economy, one person that is paying tax. What happens to the rest of the people? So I'm just trying to break it down. So this is their main concern. They feel like the dependents, they are quite a lot and they are not really contributing into the economy. Let's go. Now, this is the sad part, number 1. From next spring, I think spring starts about April, May, it should be spring. So let's just say from end of March. From next spring, the government will increase the earning threshold for overseas workers by nearly 50% from its current position of 26,200 to 38,700, encouraging businesses to look to British talent first and invest in their workforce. helping us, that's the government, to deter employers from over-relying on migration whilst bringing salaries in line with average full-time salary for these types of jobs. Now, what they're trying to say in this sense is currently the minimum amount in order for a company to offer COS is 26,200. If the salary they're proposing for you is 26,200, you're able to come into the UK from abroad. Do you understand this point? So most of these care companies, that's what they offer to pay. They offer to pay you this amount, and you're able to come into the UK. Now they've increased the threshold. So in order for, let's say I'm an employer, I don't want to employ people around. I'm just going to use the word local. By local, I mean people that are already in the UK. I want to employ someone from overseas. Now I have to pay that person a minimum of £38,700. So let's just say at this point they do not want migration to the UK via this route anymore, because believe me, there is no employer right now that will be able to do that. Like how is that possible? How can they offer to pay you a carer or a senior carer 38,700 just to bring you from abroad to the UK? How is that possible? So in that sense, when employers think about the amount that they have to pay overseas care workers, they will have to invest in locals, if that makes sense. When you can pay locals 26,200 or 24,000 or 25,000, why would I want to bring you from overseas to pay you this large sum of money? So in that sense, I would just say at this point, it looks like it's about to come to an end. Let's go on. The government will also increase the minimum income required for British citizens and those settled in the UK who want their family members to join them. Altogether, this reinforces that all those who want to work and live here must be able to support themselves and contribute to the economy and are not burdening the state. Lots of us, like when you have your ILRO, you're fully settled, you're able to you can bring your family over, you can bring your parents over. Lots and lots of people do it, and in order to do that, there are lots of documents you must present: proof of fund, inclusive, salary, and all that. The minimum income to be able to bring your family over, that's if you're already settled in the UK, is 18,700. So if you're earning at least 18,700 and you have your ILRO, you're fully settled in the UK, you are able to bring your family over, like your mom, your dad. Lots and lots and lots of people, they do it. But now, in order to reduce net migration, they've decided that it's no longer 18,700. So you must be earning at least 38,700 for you to be able to bring your family to the UK. I'm not talking about the normal visit visa, no. When you're fully settled, you can easily bring your mom over to come live with you, to come support you. At this point, I would just say upskill. Like, I keep saying it, like, coming to the UK does not mean you have to relax. Upskill, like, do a course, do whatever it is that for you to get to the top. Don't come here and relax. Like, you just have to be like, you need to have this burning desire to succeed, to get to the top. I love seeing Black people on top. Like, I love seeing Black people doing so well in this country. Like, it gives me so much joy. Let's go on. To call down or cut price labor from overseas, the government will end the 20% going rate salary discount for shortage occupations and replace the shortage occupation list with a new immigration salary list, which will retain a general threshold discount. The MAC, that's Migration Advisory Committee, will review the new list against the increased salary threshold in order to reduce the number of occupations on the list. Recently they added to shortage occupation list, they added so many disciplines, but now it's going to be reformed. I'm going to let you guys know when that is done. And the current 20% going rate discount for shortage occupation list will be abolished. This is just, I'm just really speechless at this point. This is like saying, okay, we've closed our gates, nothing for you. The rules on students bringing family members to the UK will be tightened. Plus, the Migration Advisory Committee will be commissioned to carry out a full review of the graduate visa routes. Now, MAC will be asked to carry out a full review of the graduate visa routes. You guys, I keep saying, you see this post-study visa, I keep looking at it with just one eye. In my opinion, what's my most likely going on is They're just gonna give it time and see what happens, since they've stopped students from bringing their dependents from January 2024. They're gonna review the net migration in 2024. I think if it's lower, like if it's still very low, I think nothing much might be done. But if more people are still trooping into the UK, because we all know the reason why most people come here to study, aside the fact that the UK has got really, really good schools, great schools of international standards, very, very well equipped school. We also know that the 2 years post-study visa is also very attractive to lots and lots of students. So I think that is what they are looking at. So it looks like they're already looking at that angle, but let's see how it goes. I'm not in their head. I'm just saying what I think. Now, this is what Home Secretary James Cleverly said. Let's just read everything. It is clear that net migration remains far too high. By leaving the European Union, we gained control over who can come into the UK, but far more must be done to bring those numbers down so British workers are not undercut and our public services put under less strain. The plan will deliver the biggest ever reduction in net migration, and we mean around 300,000 people who came to the UK last year would not have been able to do so. I am taking decisive action to halt the drastic rise in our work visa routes and crack down on those who seek to take advantage of our hospitality. In addition to measures to reduce migration, the government will make sure that migrants coming to the UK make a fair financial contribution so that public services, including the NHS, are not taken advantage of. By increasing the annual immigration health surcharge from £624 to £1,035. Oh my God. This is insane. Like, this is insane. You know, all this while they increase visa fees, they increase ILRO. That was the last fees that they increased. And we're so happy that IHS was not affected. And it's so unfortunate because this IHS is a lot of money. It's just so much. Even though health and care visa holders are exempted, how about students? But if you look at it, students from January are not even able to bring their children or their family over to the UK, because that was usually like the problem, where a student will come with like 4 family members, let's say students, the wife, 3 kids, and each of them have to pay for IHS, and usually it is per year. It is usually a lot of money. But now that students are unable to bring their family over, how about the students themselves? This is a lot of money. If your visa is for 2 years, you have to pay IHS for 2 years. It used to be £624, and now it has increased to over £1,000. That is £1,035. It's their country at the end of the day. I can't really say much, even though it is a lot. Now, workers and their dependents account for some of the highest proportion of visas being used, with skilled worker and health and care worker visas accounting for 63% of work grants, and the proportion of work-related visas being granted to dependents rising to 43% in the year ending September 2023. The addition of carers in the UK's immigration system was a temporary measure to fill labour shortages by responding to an urgent need into the adult social care sector following the coronavirus pandemic. Today's measures will ensure we will continue to protect our NHS and social care systems while addressing significant concerns that have emerged since the introduction of the visa about high levels of non-compliance, worker exploitation, and abuse within the adult social care sector, particularly for overseas workers employed within care occupations. So, like I said, they are aware. If you watched my video yesterday, I did mention that they are cutting down on COS. Like, they are withdrawing COS from companies, they are investigating companies, they are going from, like, they are all out at this point. And to be honest, if I'm being 100% honest to myself, I would say it is about time. It is about time. Like, this is something I've been screaming on my channel for over a year now. Guys, people are suffering. When I say suffering, I mean people are suffering. And it is so sad that this issue we brought this upon ourselves. As in, it is so unfortunate, but what were we thinking when we're busy paying use of our money to come to the UK? What were we thinking when we're bringing people into the country with no jobs? Like, what were these employers thinking, that it was going to last forever? And it's so sad that some of them actually got away with it. Like, it is just really, really sad. It is even a different ball game if you collect this huge sum of money from them and they come into the UK and you fulfill your obligation. You keep to your words, you keep to your promises, you provide them shifts, you pay them the right amount of money. You give them enough shift that they were contracted to work for. You pay them the exact money after all the necessary deductions. But the reverse is the case. They come into the country, you don't pick their calls anymore. You don't give them shift. You don't even care about them. You're not bothered on how they are going to feed. It is so sad. Somebody recently dragged someone on Facebook, and I was just going through the comments whilst this guy was crying out loud, dragging this man for taking about £15,000 from him and not giving him job, nothing, all the promises, everything that is in the contract is signed. This man did not fulfill any part of it. Like, the guy was dragging out this man. I went through this man's page, I went through the comment section, and I could see lots and lots of people still asking, sir, how do I reach you? Sir, how do I reach you? Like, you're seeing somebody dragging this man, somebody crying out, like desperately in need of help, saying this guy ripped him off, and you've seen all these things, you don't care. You feel like life is just bad. You are still ready to stick your head out and pay. Like, it is sad. Like, it is so sad, and I feel like it is about time, to be honest. From spring 2024, people on health and care worker visas may not be able to bring their family, their dependents over. And even when I was watching the clip, lots of people were saying, yeah. Like, I was not even hearing anybody opposing it, like, during their meeting. They were all in agreement with what the Home Secretary cleverly was saying. So guys, if any update comes up, be right sure that I'll bring it right to your doorstep. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. This is sad, so that I don't even think I have the right to ask people, what do you think about this so far? Because it doesn't even, I don't know, it's sad. It's really sad. It's sad. But in the meantime, what I am not 100% sure is, how about single people that are already in the UK under the health and care visa plans? If they get married, are they able to bring their family over? I think yes, they should be able to bring their family over because they came into the UK before this was announced. I think that should be fine. I think so. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and of course I will see you all in my next one. Bye guys.